In one of the lectures, we have discussed the concept of conduction current. Now, in this lecture, we'll discuss the concept of displacement current and what is the necessity of defining this displacement current, and the physical significance we'll discuss at the end. So first, we'll discuss the equations of this displacement current, how this displacement current is represented mathematically, why it is necessary to represent displacement current in case of time varying fields. At the end, we'll discuss its physical significance. So let us proceed. For static fields, we have derived this equation earlier. Curl of H, that is the magnetic field intensity, it is equal to the current density. Let us start with this equation. Taking divergence of both sides, we can write it as divergence of curl of H equal to divergence of J. So divergence of curl of any vector quantity, it is always equal to 0. So here we can say divergence of curl of H equal to divergence of J is equal to 0. So this is our equation number 2. Now, as per the continuity equation, divergence of current density, it is equal to negative rate of change of volume charge density. So by making use of continuity equation from equation number 3, we can say that divergence of J is not equal to 0. So this is our equation number 3. Now equation number 2 and equation number 3, these are inconsistent. Equation number 2 says that divergence of current density is equal to 0. Equation number 3 says divergence of current density is not equal to 0 as per the continuity equation. So to remove this consistency, Maxwell modified equation number 1. So let us see what modification is required in equation number 1 so that this inconsistency is removed. So to remove this inconsistency in equation number 1, we add one more term in equation number 1. So equation number 1 we modify as curl of magnetic field intensity H is equal to J plus G. So we add one more term here, G, to maintain compatibility between equations 2 and 3. Now let us find out what exactly is this G. So let us proceed to find out the last term G here. Now taking divergence of both sides of this equation, equation number 4, after adding additional term G here, we can say divergence of curl of H is divergence of J plus divergence of G, which is equal to 0, because divergence of curl of any vector quantity is 0. Now we have seen earlier, as per continuity equation, divergence of J is negative rate of change of volume charge density rho v. So from this, to satisfy this equation, we must have del dot G as d rho by dt, so that del dot J plus del dot G, it becomes 0. So our aim was to find out this term G. Now we got this equation, divergence of G is d rho by dt. Now, according to Gauss law, divergence of d, that is the electric flux density, it is equal to volume charge density rho v. So let us substitute this rho v here. So this gives us divergence of G equal to d dt divergence of d. Interchanging the differentiation and divergence operator, we can write it as divergence of dd by dt. Now equating the LHS and the RHS from this equation, now we will get the expression for G, what we were looking for. So from this we can say G is nothing but rate of change of electric flux density D. Now we know the right hand side of equation 4, it is a current density. This means this term, this must be some form of current density. Now here, this first term we call it as the conduction current density, and the second term we added to remove the inconsistency of these equations. So we call this second term as displacement current. So this equation we can write it as two terms, conduction current density plus the second term we call it as the displacement current density JD. So this is what is displacement current density. So the curl of H is equal to conduction current density plus displacement current density, where displacement current density just now we got it as dd by dt. So this is one of the Maxwell's equation for time varying field derived from Ampere's circuital law. One of the very important equation in case of electromagnetics. So as we have seen, JD it is the displacement current density and JC it is the conduction current density. Now this current densities are functions of frequency. So at low frequencies, JD is usually negligible as compared to JC. So that means the effect of displacement current density, it is significant at high frequencies. So the insertion of JD, that is the displacement current density, in the curl equation, that is the del cross H equation, this is the major, one of the major contribution of Maxwell. Without the term JD, the representation of electromagnetic wave propagation would be almost impossible. So this is the basic equation which we always use to find out the equations in case of electromagnetic wave propagation, where the signal propagates from one point to the other point. For example, in radio or TV waves. As we have seen, at low frequencies, JD is negligible as compared to JC. So, however, at high frequencies, both the terms are comparable. So, that's why we will have to consider both JC as well as JD, the current conduction current density as well as the displacement current density. So, del cross H is equal to JC plus JD. Now, having knowledge of the equations of displacement current density or displacement current, let us see what is the physical significance of this displacement current. Because a displacement current density, it is ampere per meter square. So if we take the dot product of displacement current density over the given surface and we integrate it, then we will get the total displacement current flowing through that particular surface. So substituting for JD as dd by dt, so we get integral dd by dt dot ds. So taking integral over the given surface of this JD dot ds, that gives me the total current passing through the surface. So that is the displacement current, how we can find out. The displacement current is the result of time varying fields. In case of static fields, displacement current or displacement current density, it will be 0. So typical example where this displacement current flows is the charging current through the capacitor when an AC voltage is applied across the capacitor. So if we have a capacitor and if we apply AC source for this capacitor, now we know some current flows through this capacitor, but capacitor is actually a pair of conductors where in between there is a dielectric or the insulator. But we know when we apply some voltage source to the capacitor, some charging current flows through this capacitor. Now, how exactly the current flows through the capacitor? Because this capacitor in between, there is a dielectric here. Now, if it is a dielectric or the insulator, there cannot be conduction current, because conduction current, it is because of the flow of electrons in a given conductor. So here, since it is an insulator between the two plates of the capacitor, there cannot be current because of flow of electrons. So flow of such type of current, it is represented by displacement current. So this is a typical example where the displacement current flows. So let us explore this further. Now we have a capacitor here, as we have discussed. So when some alternating voltage is applied, there will be some charging current through this capacitor, through these conductors, going inside in this direction here and coming out of. Now the current flowing between this dielectric, as we have discussed, that is represented by displacement current. Now let us explore this further by using Ampere's law. Now suppose these are the two plates of the capacitor, as you can see in this diagram. This is plate 1 and plate 2, and this is the current which is flowing through this capacitor, charging current entering here and current leaving here. Now if I apply Ampere's circuital law to different surfaces, for example, 4 types of surfaces are represented in this diagram. Surface 1, this is surface 2, surface 3, and this is surface 4. Now as per statement of Ampere's circuital law, the line integral over the closed loop is equal to the current passing through that surface. Now this is true for surfaces 1, this is surface 2, and for surface 4. So for surfaces 1, 2 and 4, this Ampere's circuital law statement, it is applicable or it is true. Now for this surface 3, there is no current passing through this surface 3. So that means the statement of Ampere's circuital law is not applicable here. So that's why the current passing through this dielectric between the plates of the capacitor is actually represented in terms of displacement current. So the current flowing here between this dielectric, this is actually represented by displacement current. This represents what is the physical significance of displacement current.